The City of Fort Lauderdale Distinguished Citizen Proclamation honoring Mike Jackson as Distinguished Citizen for 2018. Whereas Mike Jackson was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where he attended St. Joseph's College in his hometown, graduating with a bachelor's degree in political science in 1971. And whereas, ironically, Mike Jackson's illustrious career in the automotive industry began shortly after college when the 1959 Mercedes-Benz he was driving broke down. Aw. With little money for repairs, he negotiated a deal with the local Mercedes-Benz dealership to work off his bill. He quickly became fascinated with the car business and took a full-time job at the dealership as a service technician. Well, that was fortuitous. And whereas Mike Jackson could never have imagined that from these humble beginnings, he would one day rise to become president and chief executive officer of Mercedes-Benz USA, where he would engineer a complete company transformation, adding sportier, stylish vehicles, increasing market share among younger, more affluent buyers, and elevating Mercedes-Benz to one of America's best-selling luxury brands. And whereas, impressed by his success at Mercedes, in 1999, H. Wayne Huizenga hired Mike Jackson to lead AutoNation. And over the ensuing 2 decades as chairman, chief executive officer, and president, Mike Jackson solidified AutoNation's position as America's largest automotive retailer, while distinguishing the company as the industry standard bearer for customer focus, transparency, and corporate success. Under Mike Jackson's leadership, AutoNation is the only retailer in history to have sold nearly 12 million vehicles. Pretty traffic. The company employs more than 26,000 associates, generates nearly $22 billion in annual revenue, has been named America's most admired automotive retailer by Fortune magazine 6 times, and has been named one of America's best corporate citizens by Forbes magazine and Just Capital. Mike Jackson's business success has earned him numerous accolades, including the Sun Sentinel's 2006 Excalibur Award as South Florida's Business Leader of the Year and South Florida CEO Magazine's 2006 CEO of the Year. In 2011, Fortune magazine named him one of the top 50 global business leaders. He is an 11-time member of the Automotive News All-Star team of automotive executives, and in 2018 was inducted into the Automotive Hall of Fame.
I'm still alive.
Mike Jackson's commitment to giving back is exemplified by his leadership in embracing breast cancer awareness as AutoNation's corporate cause. Who has a pink plate, right? And through the company's Drive Pink campaign, raising and donating more than $18 million to fund cancer research and treatment facilities. Thank you. In addition, AutoNation is a founding partner, as I mentioned earlier, of the Broward Business Council on Homelessness, which has allocated and raised millions of dollars in funding to end homelessness in the city of Fort Lauderdale. Thank you so much for doing that, Jack. Thank you. And Mike Jackson's outstanding professional contributions, tremendous civic engagement, and earnest commitment to building community have strengthened Fort Lauderdale's position as a leading business center, and moving forward will continue to play a key role in the progress and advancement of our city. So now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the City Commission of the City of Fort Lauderdale that 1, Mike Jackson is hereby selected and honored as Distinguished Citizen of the City of Fort Lauderdale for 2018 in recognition of his accomplishments and valuable contributions to the City of Fort Lauderdale, and that the City Commission of the City of Fort Lauderdale hereby publicly recognizes and acknowledges these achievements and contributions, and does hereby express its heartfelt appreciation to Mike Jackson. 2, that a bronze plaque honoring Mike Jackson as Distinguished Citizen of the City of Fort Lauderdale for 2018 shall be placed in the courtyard of Fort Lauderdale City Hall, and his portrait shall hang in City Hall. And finally, that a copy of this proclamation and a keepsake recognizing Mike Jackson as the 2018 Distinguished Citizen shall be presented to him as a further token of the gratitude and appreciation of the city of Fort Lauderdale. Dated this 28th of February 2019, signed by myself, Dean J. Trantalis. Congratulations, Mike Jackson. You want to say a few words?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. So, first, thank you everyone for staying to the end. I thought it would be an empty room by now as each award went out, so I'm deeply touched by that fact that you all stayed to the end. And I have to say, as a street kid from Philadelphia, I never thought I would ever receive any award that started with the word distinguished. Never thought of myself that way. And honey, if we could start each day in the morning with that salutation, distinguished, you can work on it, see if it rolls off the tongue. That would really mean a lot to me. So, Mr. Mayor, commissioners, everyone, thank you for being here tonight. And I would also like to declare, as I was sitting here watching those who came before me receiving recognition, I think the class of 2018 is the greatest class ever, right? And I'm very proud to be part of it, I have to tell you. I am a car salesman, I'll admit. So, I'm also deeply touched, Mayor, that you talked about those who came before that made our city what it is today, and that we should never forget them. And a special meaning to me, because I lost my best friend this year, Wayne. And quite frankly, without Wayne, I would not be standing here tonight whatsoever. I was running Mercedes-Benz in New York. I was a stuck-up Northeasterner. The center of the universe was Manhattan, and every mile away was a step into the wilderness, and I never saw my life being anything different. And Wayne calls me and wants me to run some company down here in Florida, and I literally blurted out. I said, Wayne, I don't see myself in Florida, just as a starting point. Now, maybe we can work something out that you move the headquarters to New York, or you give me a plane to commute. And Wayne says, no, that's non-negotiable, Mike. If you take this job, you will live in Fort Lauderdale. Well, how about Palm Beach? No, you're not living with those blue bloods. Well, how about Miami? I don't want to hear it. If you want this job, you're going to live in Fort Lauderdale. So I thought about it and said, well, working with Wayne, a great entrepreneur of all time, I can't let that go by. So I said, yes. Okay, Wayne, sign me up. How bad could it be? That was my attitude. How bad can it be? And Mr. Mayor, you described it so well. I got here and was absolutely astounded at the sense of community, first and foremost. And this community was diverse, it was dynamic, it was an entrepreneur, it was a community that was determined to care for each other, but make a difference and build something every year that it would be better than the year before. And it's the greatest gift that Wayne ever gave me. Well, almost the greatest gift. It was one gift he gave more. So my lovely wife, Alice, who everybody likes more than me, but I'm getting used to that. So my lovely wife, Alice, I'm dating her for a couple years. This is about 10 years ago. And I'm out to lunch with Wayne, and Wayne goes, Mike, Alice is the one, and you ought to really marry her. And I go, Wayne, I got to tell you, I've asked her twice already, and she said no. 2 times already. Said no to Mike Jackson. Who says no to Mike Jackson? Really, think about it. How can this be? So Wayne goes, you're this great salesman. You can't convince this woman to marry you. So Wayne goes, look, Mike, I'm going to coach you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to tell you how to do this step by step, blah, blah, blah. So sure enough, Wayne coaches me. And 6 months later, Alice is walking down the aisle to marry me, and Wayne's my best man. All right? Minister says, I now pronounce you man and wife. Wayne turns to me and says, congratulations, Mike. He turns to Alice and goes, you know, you could have done better. So, Mr. Mayor, we should never forget Bob, Wayne, on whose energy and entrepreneurialism made Fort Lauderdale. Yes, we all will try to take it to the next level. We try to follow in their footsteps as best we can, but we'll never be what they were, and we should never forget that. So I'm deeply honored, deeply touched to be a distinguished citizen of Fort Lauderdale. And I can use that for more than a year. Thank you all for being here.